How's everybody doing tonight? Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Spyderco Para 3. I've had this knife for about 8 or 9 months now, and I've carried it quite a bit. It is actually the only Spyderco that I own, but I've been pretty happy with the knife overall. This is the G10 version, obviously, with the camo scales. And this is the S45 VN blade. This thing came razor sharp right out of the box. And it's a unique design for a knife. It's kind of an interesting aesthetic. Pretty much most of the viewers or people that watch knife reviews have either owned this knife or heard of it extensively. It's one of the more popular knives out there. And, for good reason. It's a good knife, especially for the money. This was $160 when I bought it, which is, pretty reasonable for what you get, especially for an American-made knife. And this one is made in Colorado. This has the compression lock. Super strong locking system. It's got the flicking hole. That is the only form of deployment on this particular knife. I did change out the pocket clip, so it came, with a typical Spyderco pocket clip, and this is the MXG deep carry pocket clip. Really nice pocket clip. It doesn't bother you in the hand. It feels pretty good. You do notice that it's there, obviously, because it is a taller clip. But I do like it better than the stock pocket clip, and it goes in and out of the pocket nice. And it is a deep carry if that's what you're looking for. If you don't want the knife sticking out of your pocket, it doesn't bother me too much if the knife's sticking out a little bit, but some people have an issue with that. I actually haven't had this knife apart. And most of the knives that I own, I have taken apart. But this one I've heard is a little tough because of this lanyard hole. You got to kind of pry the scale. There's a little lip here. I haven't done it, so, I've seen it done on videos. And it does look a little more difficult than most knives. But fortunately, I haven't had to take this apart for any reason. The lockup is pretty solid. Up and down, zero play. There's just a tiny little bit of side to side, but maybe I can. Let's see here. I just don't want to tighten it too much to where the action is bad. I'm sure it's a T8. Let's see here. Yeah, still a little bit, and it's pretty tight. Yeah, so it looks like this knife just is going to have just a tiny bit of side-to-side play, unfortunately. That is what it is. There is no up and down play at all, and the side-to-side is minimal. Size comparison, well, I have a Sharp by Design Apex, which is 3.5-inch blade. So we'll look at it compared to the Para 3. A little bit longer. The cutting edge is, you get quite a bit more, obviously. The Para 3 is not known for its blade to handle ratio. I think this is more known for its utilitarian aspect, and it does have a flat grind, which slices really nice. This is a good knife to use and hard use. You're not going to worry about it too much. You're just going to use it like you should use a knife. It does have this choke up spot here. And it also has like jimping on the back here where you can rest your thumb and really get a good purchase here. One of the things I do wish this knife had was contoured scales. All the Spydercos that I've handled have these blocky scales, and they function fine. And it's not uncomfortable at all. But when you go from carrying something like this, where the scales are nice and rounded and contoured, this just has a little bit better feel. Also, this has definitely a better detent and action. This is quite a bit more expensive knife. So, but for what you're getting here for the money, I think you're getting a high quality product. When I first got this knife, it was one of the nicer knives that I had ever purchased, and I was just super happy with it and super impressed, and I still am. I've handled, since I've purchased this, some other knives that cost quite a bit more, and there is a difference, as far as how it feels, the detent, the action, the flicking action. This one you can thumb flick it just fine. You can finger flick it just fine, and it's not bad. It's pretty good, but when you finger flick that, it's just has a different feel. Overall, I would say that this is definitely a knife that I would recommend to people. It's easy to carry, even though it has a little bit of a tall presence. Those are actually really similar in length, closed. It's not a cumbersome object to carry. It's lightweight. This compression lock, like I said, is super strong. It's supposed to be one of the stronger locking mechanisms out there. And you don't have to worry about any type of lock bar pressure, obviously, on this one. So it's something that's not a concern. Yeah. So that's a Spyderco Para 3 with the MXG clip. S45VN blade. A real nice finish on that blade, too. Pretty happy with this knife. It's slicey, it's pokey, it's, pretty easy to carry, and it's just a good user. I can take this knife out and I don't worry about if I drop it, if I'm cutting things that, maybe I probably shouldn't be cutting, which is pretty rare, but on a higher end knife or a more expensive knife, you might worry a little bit more. This one you just take out and use and throw it back in your pocket, and it's a reliable tool, which is it's a well-designed tool. The attention to detail isn't the same as some of the pricier knives, but the utilitarian aspect of this knife is hard to beat. It's one of the few knives that have 4 different mounting positions for the pocket clip. I've never mounted the pocket clip up here to carry it tip down, so I don't even know what that would be like, to be honest with you. I've only carried it tip up, and but like I said, it is one of the few knives that if you do like to carry knives that way, Spyderco is one of the few knives that accommodates that. They pretty much carry lefty, righty, tip up, tip down. It is a well-designed knife. It's got jimping in all the right places. It is comfortable and very functional. So, well, that's going to do it for tonight. Like I said, recommend the PM3. There's some things about it that I would change a little bit, the clip, and, I would contour the handles a bit. And I would maybe work on the little bit of side-to-side play that I can get out of that. And it's not like, I've abused the crap out of this knife. I don't know if it's just mine or maybe they all have it, So at any rate, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And you guys have a good night. Take care.